What's going on, guys? It is Alone Courier here, and today this video is going to be going out a little bit later. I originally wasn't actually going to post a video today because usually when I do a commentary I make one sort of late the night before, probably about like 9 o'clock ish, and last night I felt like utter shit, I felt like I was fucking dying inside, so yeah, that's sounded pretty damn emo, I'm not even gonna lie, but I felt like I was gonna puke and it's just quite horrible, so making this video quite early in the morning, so it might go out a little bit later today, so I apologise for that, but I've not really got an actual upload schedule as to what specific time, I just kind of put out a video whenever I put one out, so yeah. One thing I want to talk about, however, today is, are we actually on the verge of seeing a change in Activision? Now, you may be thinking, what kind of change, and what's starting that change? Well, the truth is, right now in the Call of Duty community, there is a huge split. It's kind of like a 60-40 split, and I would say it's probably about 60% right now are against supply drops, and 40% are, they fucking love them. And honestly, I think we're on the verge of seeing something happen, because it's like a revolution, The amount of fucking channels I've seen recently that have just stood up and went, nope, get this fucking sorted. Because, there's all these weapons that are getting added into the fucking supply drops in Black Ops 3, you've got the fucking... you've got the HG40, they just got added in recently, and the RSA Interdiction Sniper Rifle, the cosmetic weapons, the reskins of the combat knife, I truly could give two fucks about. There's the MVP and the Carver that just got added, and the Malice as well. I really don't care about them. I am completely cool with the knives being added. But back in the day when they started getting added into the game, I kind of thought to myself, oh, guaranteed this isn't going to be the only kind of weapons that got added in. So I was pissed off at the time. I wasn't pissed off about the knives, it's more the principle that they were going to add in weapons at some point. So yeah, the weapons that have been added in, you could say they're not pay to win. I'm not saying that they are pay to win by any means necessary. What I'm saying, however, is it's a bit unfair that there is weapons gated behind a paywall that have statistical changes compared to the base weapons in the game, because a lot of people are saying the RSA Interdiction is kind of like a reskin of the Locust Sniper Rifle, and some people are saying the MP40 is kind of like a weaker, slower fire rate version of the Kuda. I kind of think it looks like a sort of more like an SMG hybrid version of the Man O' War, so I think that's a bit of an advantage really, because it feels quite similar to the Man O' War, and honestly that's a bit annoying. But these weapons that are getting added in, they're not pay to win, they don't really have massive benefits to them. The MP40's not really got many things going for it, neither has the RSA Interdiction. The problem though is these weapons are not accessible to Season Pass holders, because in previous Call of Duties the Season Pass actually did have its perks and benefits, like Advanced Warfare was the last year of said perks and benefits. Like when a new weapon got added in, say for example the first DLC pack, Havoc DLC for Advanced Warfare, came with a new weapon called the AE4. Now the AE4 wasn't a statistical powerhouse or anything, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't really a power weapon, but it's a good weapon in the skilled hands. I could use that weapon pretty well. Not everybody did, because it's one of the directed energy weapons, and instead of having an actual reload, it would overheat and need to cool down. So I thought it was pretty cool and unique in that sense. But if you had the Season Pass, you got a month's early access to that weapon, even on PS4, because last year PS4 had to wait a month before they got the DLC, and they still got the AE4 when Havoc came out for the Xbox One. So everybody benefited really in terms of Season Passes, and the weapons weren't exactly overpowered. In Ghost, however, you could say that was a bit of a problem, because you got weapons such as the Ripper, which was fairly overpowered. I'm not gonna lie here, it was probably the best weapon in the game. It was a true hybrid between assault rifle and SMG, and it wasn't even the typical sense of the word hybrid, because hybrid is more applied to the guns such as the Peacemaker or the Razorback, but the Ripper actually was a 2-in-1 weapon. If you hit the melee button while you were aiming down sights, it would change it either to assault mode or submachine gun mode. For assault rifle mode, it had this little red dot sight, and it had a slower, more accurate fire rate. and if you switched it into SMG mode, obviously had reduced range, but it had an insanely higher fire rate, and it was a fucking beast of a weapon. If you never got to play with the Ripper, I really do recommend that you try it out on Ghosts, you know, if you go back and try it out. I'm not saying that you should, but you know, it was a really good weapon, and in my opinion it's probably one of the best weapons in Call of Duty for the last few years. And then after that they added in the weapon called the Maverick, which had two different variants of the weapons. You had the assault rifle version of the Maverick, which was kind of just average, you know, it wasn't exactly spectacular, and you also had the sniper rifle version of the Maverick, which everybody thought was going to be pay to win and overpowered, but it wasn't. It was fairly shit, and to be honest, I've never seen anybody use it. In Ghosts I don't really run into too many snipers, and you know, the Maverick is out of all the snipers there is, people tend to either drift towards the L115 or the, not the Lynx, the USR. A lot of people use those weapons, and yeah. So you actually did have some benefit from the Season Pass in previous games. You know, you get the early access to the weapons before the DLC pack came out, which allowed you the time to either rank up your weapon, get gold, diamond, whatever camo you wanted for it. You'd have all the attachments before anybody actually has the weapon, and you could say that was pay to win because people were buying the Season Pass and getting early access to these overpowered weapons. As I said, the AE4 from Advanced Warfare wasn't overpowered. The Ohm was borderline overpowered because that was the shotgun slash LMG hybrid, and you think to yourself, the fuck, how does that even work? But trust me, it worked pretty damn effectively. The OHM slash shotgun hybrid, when you run it in shotgun mode with rapid fire with one of the variants that had plus fire rate, dude, that thing was insane. But you know, that was borderline pay to win, and a lot of people complained about it. So this year you could tell that the DLC weapons were intended to be released as part of the DLC map packs. And in fact, I said in a video not long before Awakening came out, I said no doubt there is going to be weapons in the DLC pack, but more likely the Activision are going to cut it out and throw it into the supply drops instead. Now that is a really big problem, because that means instead of actually having the additional perks and benefits of buying the Season Pass, you really don't have any benefits other than you've bought the DLC in one lump sum. And that is a bit of a hindrance, because you know, Awakening was a pretty shit DLC map pack, you know. Other than Der Eisendrache, the DLC pack was an utter failure in my opinion, and I think the majority of the COD community can also agree that it was a failure. The DLC map sucked. Splash is a very average map, it's too goddamn big. Then you have Gauntlet, which is three maps in one, 3 times the bullshit in my opinion. It's not a very good map, it has got very much flow. It's just a generic Treyarch map, to be completely honest with you. It's got that disguise of having 3 maps in one, and it's not really 3 maps in one, it's like 3 extremely small combat zones combined into one shitty map. And then you had Rise, which was a pretty bad map on every single mode other than Safeguard, so Rise was a shit heap. But yeah, the Season Passes, you know, they don't have any benefits to them now, and I've dragged that on for too long, that discussion, so let's get back to the main topic. I think we are actually on the verge of seeing a change in Activision's business model for Black Ops 3 at least, because we've had a huge ton of people all supporting the cause of getting this supply drop shit to be cut out of the game. You know, not supply drops in themselves, but to stop the bullshit that Activision are employing, you know, by adding in weapons to paywalls, and you know, you have to wait until you've earned the weapon until you can use it and shit like that. It's what pissed me off in Advanced Warfare as well, because they started adding in weapons, you know, such as the lever action, the repulsor, the STG, the MP40, and truth be told, to this day there still is weapons that I never ever earned in Advanced Warfare. I'd say out of all the desired weapons, I had every single one of them. I had the HBRA-3 Insanity, the Ball 27 Obsidian Steed, the Ball 27 Inferno, the ARX Steel Bite, you know, all the power weapons, the elite variants that everybody lusted after. I had every single one of them, to be honest, and I never got any of the new weapons that got added in. You know, I did get the STG, the Blunderbuss, the MP40, but there's weapons that I never got, like the Self-Free Cauterizer. I never ever got a chance of seeing that weapon, you know, never ever saw it. I did get the M16, however, an utter pile of shit that gun was. Also, there was other weapons that got added in after the life cycle was over, and to be honest, there was no chance of me ever getting those weapons, and those weapons are borderline overpowered. You know, you had the lever action, which was shite, and then you had the repulsor, which was fucking overpowered. That gun was unbelievably overpowered. If you never got to use it, I would recommend trying to find a lobby, or if one of your friends has the repulsor in Advanced Warfare, ask if you can use their account, or ask if they can play a game with you and actively kill themselves so you can pick up that weapon, because it is a really good gun, but it also is fucking overpowered, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I remember playing Biolab with my girlfriend last month. We decided to play some PDM, and fucking someone in that lobby had the repulsor, and dude, I just went on a tear with that thing, you know. I picked it up and I was like, this gun is fucking ridiculous, you know. But yeah, you can see why they done that, because it was after the game's life cycle, so they added in that bullshit. But yes, hopefully we can see a change, because you're seeing some of the bigger YouTubers actually go against the supply drops. You know, one of the ones that I thought was never ever going to badmouth the supply drops is T Martin. You know, I don't like the guy. I'm probably not going to subscribe to him or anything because of this. But dude, that's fucking brilliant. If we can actually get someone like T Martin to stand up and go, nope, that's fucking great. You know, he's one of the poster boys for Activision. You know, you could say the main most prolific poster boy for Activision is Ali A, but you've got to remember T Martin is one of the fucking big boys. You know, everybody knows T Martin. You know, he's a huge YouTuber. I don't even know how many million subscribers he's got, but you know, it's probably pretty close to Ali A, to be honest. You know, he's got his second channel, which has got at least 1 million subs as well, probably about 2, and you know, it's just for someone like him to actually go against what Activision are doing, you think to yourself, wow, Activision are got to be feeling the heat over this. And I mean, Activision, truth is, the main question here is, do they love money more than they actually love having active customers? Yeah, it's one of those things, you know. Hopefully we can see some kind of change, because we're getting the majority of the big YouTubers that are all on Activision's side. Mostly they get early access. A lot of these guys are now turning against Activision and going, nah, stop this bullshit. So hopefully we can actually see some sort of a change, and it, you know, it just feels like something fucking big is about to happen, you know. It feels like something is about to change. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It's been The Lone Courier. If you leave a like and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.